Hey guys, this is Jeff at Slavens Racing. I'm up here in the mountains today doing some testing on pipes. So we've got a whole stack of pipes with us, I don't know, 6 or 7 pipes, and a lot of activity up here today. It's going to be some background noise. We got one goon riding around with no helmet and jeans on. So anyhow, patience on that, please. So what we're going to do is test all these pipes. We're not, this is a butt dyno test, which to me is the most important final piece of any performance product, because you gotta ride them. You gotta ride them in a lot of different conditions, and to really know how the product works. Dynos will only tell you so much. So here we are doing the butt dyno test today. I've got an Oxa pipe on here right now, and so we're not going to pick a winner or a loser on this challenge, because there really is no winner or loser. It's because everybody likes something different, and we're just going to tell you the different characteristics of each pipe, and you can make your own decisions on which one you want to use for your application. So anyhow, I'm starting out with the Oxa. I just went out and rode it. I absolutely love this pipe. I've had it for a long time. It's real smooth power delivery, and that's exactly what I like. So in Colorado, we're riding on this stuff that's called decomposed granite. It looks like pea gravel. It's very slick when it's dry. When it's wet, it's magic. There is no mud in this area, because that's what we have, is that stuff. And so traction's at a premium all the time. 2-strokes always have trouble hooking up compared to a 4-stroke. So I'm constantly looking for more traction, whether it be, some great knobby or gummy knobby, or engine component to make the power smoother, because a lot of you guys, or some of you guys, like a pipe that has a lot of hit to it. That, for me, that's the exact opposite way I want to go, because that makes the bike harder to ride, wears you out more, less traction. Yeah, if you're on perfect traction and stuff, well, that might be a good way to go, or be good for motocross, that type of stuff. But for trail riding or any off-road type riding, you need a smoother power delivery on this 2-stroke to get the traction down to the ground. Put the power down to the ground. All right, guys. So like I said, I've got the Oxa on this bike. We've got a Gas 300 over here, and he's got the FMF gnarly. This one's kind of extra gnarly because it's got a little damage to it there, but whatever. Still works fine. It's going to perform just fine for the test. And then after we ride them all, then we'll come back and tell you what we think. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, so we tested all these pipes. Now we're going to go through the weight of them. Which one is this?
Oxa.
This is the Oxa. It's got a guard on it, so that adds a little weight. And it's 6.3 or 4. Okay, let's move on to the next one here.
That's stock.
Okay. Stock pipe. 5.1 or 2.
Cougar.
Okay. This is a new pipe. You guys probably haven't heard of it. It's the Cougar, made by the guys that make the ignitions.
It felt light.
Wow.
Yeah, it felt lighter.
Wow. 4.8. Okay.
Fatty.
This is a fatty. 5.09. So that's lighter than the stock too. The stock was 5.1 or 2. Okay, so it's about the same.
Scalvini.
This is a Scalvini, which should be the heaviest. What? It's not the heaviest. I'll be damned. 4.8.
Wow.
4.9.
Pro circuit. That's heavy.
5.2.
Gnarly.
This is the gnarly. 5.5. So that's the heaviest one. So I thought that the Scalvini would be the heaviest. Usually cone pipes are heavy, but obviously it's not. But they're all within, most of them are within 4 or 5 tenths of each other. The gnarly being the heaviest. All right, so when we're doing our testing, we're comparing them all to the Stalker, which is that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our baseline, the stock pipe. Now, unfortunately, I just looked up the price on that pipe. It's $609. It's KTM suggested price. So that kind of makes it out of the ballpark as far as what people want to spend their money on. Okay, so I'm going to first of all tell you kind of the construction of these. So all of these are except for the Scalvini, all of them are what's called a stamped pipe. So it means they take a flat piece of sheet steel, carbon steel, and then they form it. And so there's a bunch of different sections. So, and everywhere you can see a weld, that indicates a section. So this is a section, the other side of it is a section, this is a section, the other side's a sections, on and on. The only thing that's one piece is the stinger, and that's the way all these are made. They're stamped. Nothing wrong with that, because when you're stamping them, you can stamp out the same thing every single time. Okay, the Scalvini is what's called a cone pipe. Of course, it's the sexiest looking pipe here. And, you know, especially when they're all shined up and stuff, they look totally badass. From there, we already did the weights, the construction. So let's talk about how they perform. Okay, so we're not giving you a winner here because I don't really feel like there is a winner. There's a winner for certain applications, but you know, guys call all the time and say, "What's the best pipe? You know, what pipe should I buy for my 250 or 300 KTM Husky or gas?" Well, that depends on what you're doing. So let's just kind of go through that, and we'll start back here at the Stalker, which is the baseline. So that pipe, I got to say, it's actually my favorite of the group. It's got a great all-around power band. It's the most aggressive power of any of them. And so we're comparing all of them to that. That one right there. You guys all have one. But once you smash them, you don't really want to buy another one because of that $600 price tag. And you could buy 3 of these other ones for that. Okay, so from there, as far as I like that type of power band that the stock pipe gives you, it's smooth, it's linear, it's, you know, has good bottom, mid, and top. I don't like pipes that totally sign off on the top or are weak on the bottom. You know, that just doesn't work for trail riding. Now for race application like motocross or something, different deal. Okay, the Oxa is very similar to the stock pipe. It's got a smoother power band. The transitions between the bottom, mid-range, and top are all a little smoother. It's a very easy pipe to ride. That's what I have on my bike right now. That's why that's got that carbon guard on it. It's an excellent pipe. I mean, it's just really easy to ride, and it's got the best price point of any of these, I believe. Right here is a new pipe, which I already mentioned. It's the Kuber. Same people that make the ECUs, and they also sent us a muffler for it. I've not tested it with a muffler because I want to do all these tests the same. So we use the FMF 2.1 muffler on all of them. And guys ask us that question a lot. Well, will my stock muffler fit on the pipe, or will my FMF muffler fit on a pro circuit pipe? Well, the mufflers all interchange, unless the manufacturer states it specifically on their side or on our side. But all these pipes here, you can use the stock muffler, FMF muffler, pro circuit muffler, whatever muffler you want. Okay, the next one down the line is what? That's a Fatty. Fatty and the Gnarly are probably our 2 biggest selling pipes. FMF makes great products. Their fit and finish is always good. Their plating is really nice on them. They do what they are designed to do and what they claim to do. So the fatty is more like a stock pipe, although the stalker, I'd say, has a little bit more bottom. Not much. We're kind of counting hairs here. But a similar power band to the stalker. Very similar to that. Maybe a little more power in some places, but overall very similar. This is the Slavens. It's probably has the broadest power of any of these pipes. It's pulls very good on the bottom, mid, and top. None of them seem to add to the top end over rev. I'd say the bike revs as well as it's going to with the stalker. And guys who come off of 250s always want their 300s to rev more. Well, sorry guys, but 300s are not revvers. That's not how the engine is designed. The board, the stroke, the port configuration, the ignition, everything about the bike is designed for bottom end or mid-range. And so if you want to rev 300s, that's just not the right bike for revving the guts out of them all the time. And if you do rev them really hard all the time, you're eventually going to crack a piston and break it, and it blows up your motor. And I'll do a separate video on that. Okay, so the Slavens, great all-around pipe. We were both more impressed with this pipe than we expected to be. I kind of thought it'd be a little weak on the bottom and strong on the top. That's not the case. It's strong all the way through, but it does not add to the over rev. What do we have here? The Pro Circuit. This is the Pro Circuit Platinum 2, I believe it's called. And also a very nice pipe. I was impressed with this pipe. In the past, the Pro Circuits were a little weak on the bottom, but this one's not. It pulls very good everywhere. And then down here we have the Gnarly. Well, the Gnarly does exactly what they say. You know, hits hard off the bottom, strong mid-range, but kind of flat on the top. Not real flat on the top. I mean, earlier versions of this were flatter on the top. But regardless, you know, let's face it, guys, most of us are not revving them to the moon on a trail. Okay, so hopefully this gives you some information to make an informed decision on what you might want. I've kind of given you the power band characteristics of all of them. You know, you could close your eyes and just grab one of these pipes and you're going to be happy with any of them. There's not a bad pipe in the bunch. I really expected it to be one that had kind of a weird power band or that would change the fueling a bunch on the bike, which that's always a big indicator of a big no-no. If you have a performance product you put on that radically changes your fueling, then you might need to look a little deeper into that. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, please post them in the bottom of this video in the comment section, and we'll put links to all these pipes in there right below the video if you just click on the More section. They're all great pipes. I know you want me to just give you one that works the best. I guess if I had to lean to all-around performance besides the Stalker, I'd probably lean towards the Oxa, to be honest. Oxa, Slavens, the Fatty, all those have a similar type power band, real broad. Okay, guys, wrapping this up. If you would, please like us on Instagram and Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Definitely get out for some throttle therapy. Hope to see you on the trail soon. That's all for now.